Welcome back to Wrestling Flash. In this WWE and all things wrestling video, we are going to look at Cody Rhodes for trash-talking Triple H and AEW. Stone Cold breaks Brock Lesnar's unique WWE record at WrestleMania 38. Alexa Bliss sends a flirtatious message to Jake Paul after his WrestleMania 38 appearance, and more. Cody Rhodes reveals which WWE brand he'll be on after WrestleMania 38 return. The returning Cody Rhodes will feature on WWE Raw after WrestleMania 38, where he wants to tell people what his intentions are for his return. After 6 years away, Cody Rhodes returned to WWE to be Seth Rollins' mystery opponent at WrestleMania 38. The former AEW TNT champion signed a multi-year contract with the company and will be a full-time performer. Following his incredible return to WWE, Cody got interviewed by the Ringer Wrestling Show's David Shoemaker. He asked Cody if he had accomplished everything he set out to do when he left WWE 6 years ago. Cody didn't provide an answer but confirmed that he'd be on Raw, where he'll tell his story. "You're the man to give the scoops to, but this is one I'm kinda saving for Monday Night Raw. I'll be there and I want to make my intentions clear. Just my intent." He said the words all in, sure, and multi-year contract, great investment, and I'm investing in them as well. But I want people to know what it is, because if people begrudge me and say anything like sold out, I want them to know what that really means and why that doesn't bother me at all. Apart from being an in-ring performer, Cody will also be the executive producer of an A&E documentary about his late father, Dusty Rhodes. Last year, A&E released 8 episodes of its WWE Legends series, which looked into the careers of iconic figures like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart, and Shawn Michaels, to name a few. Dusty Rhodes played a key part in developing talent in WWE when he was the head of NXT. Cody Rhodes does a Stardust tease during WrestleMania 38 match. After weeks and weeks of anticipation, rumors, and teases, Cody Rhodes finally made his long-awaited return to WWE tonight at WrestleMania 38. He was revealed as Seth Rollins' mystery opponent and defeated the former Universal Champion after an amazing match. One spot that caught many fans' attention was Cody calling back to his Stardust gimmick by doing a cartwheel and hand gesture. Stardust was a gimmick inspired by Cody's brother Dustin Rhodes. Interestingly, when Cody last competed at WrestleMania 6 years ago, he competed as Stardust. The Stardust gimmick debuted in 2014 and saw Cody come out to the ring with a star painted on his face, a bodysuit, and similar mannerisms to Goldust. The gimmick was mainly used as comic relief and saw him relegated to the mid-card and lower mid-card. In 2020, Cody Rhodes took to Twitter and said he blamed himself for the Stardust gimmick as he was a subpar performer under the paint. He added that WWE made a mistake not to capitalize on his 2010-12 run. Not pushing Stardust wasn't the crime. The character had broke me and I was a subpar performer under the paint during that period. The crime was not capitalizing on 2010-12 where I was cooking with gas and my live event work was top-level consistent. In the end, blame is on me. The rumors of Cody Rhodes' WWE return started the talks about his Stardust gimmick and how WWE misused a talent like him. However, his WrestleMania 38 return saw him getting the same character representation as during his time in AEW with the same look, theme song, and ring gear. Comment down and let us know your thoughts on Cody Rhodes' WrestleMania 38 return. Cody Rhodes sorry for trash-talking Triple H in AEW. Cody Rhodes has stated that he wants Triple H to know that the game is his favorite wrestler. The American Nightmare has previously taken shots at Triple H and WWE while he was part of AEW. The 36-year-old symbolically destroyed a throne resembling that of the Cerebral Assassin at Double or Nothing 2019. In his interview with David Shoemaker of the Ringer Wrestling Show after Night 1 of WrestleMania 38, Cody said Triple H was the last one he saw before the former AEW star went to the ring to face Seth Rollins. He hopes to speak to the game and tell him how big an influence has been to the returning star. "It's no secret Triple H is my favorite wrestler ever, even though I destroyed his throne and bad-mouthed him to the end of the earth. He was the last person I saw before I went out there. If he never knew he was my favorite wrestler, now I have to tell him. The pedigree itself, everything, even the stuff I messed up, I wouldn't change," said Cody. In the match, the American Nightmare tried performing the pedigree, which is Triple H's iconic finisher. Rollins, though, landed the move on Rhodes during the match. In an interview from earlier this year, Cody said that he wanted to make a statement by destroying the throne. "I think I wanted to make a statement on what we were doing, and I think what we did was clearly the biggest statement we could make." Afterwards, "You know, I get really long-winded," said Cody earlier this year. The former TNT champion noted that he didn't regret that moment or the trash talk that AEW has indulged in from time to time. Cody Rhodes said that was a favorite moment for him in the company. Stone Cold breaks Brock Lesnar's unique WWE record at WrestleMania 38. Stone Cold Steve Austin broke a unique WrestleMania record tonight that previously belonged to Brock Lesnar. At WrestleMania 30, Stone Cold faced Kevin Owens in an impromptu no-holds-barred match. It was also the main event of night one of the shows of shows. After a hard-hitting brawl, Austin delivered a thunderous stunner to Owens to pick up the big win. With his huge win, Austin broke an impressive WrestleMania record that was previously held by none other than Brock Lesnar. The Rattlesnake now holds the longest amount of time between two WrestleMania main events. Austin's last WrestleMania main event was way back in 2001. At WrestleMania 17, the Hall of Famer defeated The Rock in a WWE title match and joined forces with Vince McMahon immediately after. 21 long years later, Austin headlined WrestleMania again, defeating Kevin Owens. Brock Lesnar headlined WrestleMania 19 in 2003 against Kurt Angle. That night, Lesnar defeated Angle to win his second WWE title. 12 years later, Lesnar headlined WrestleMania 31 against Roman Reigns in a world title match. Fans may remember that the bout turned into a triple threat match when Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase midway. Stone Cold Steve Austin is regarded by many as quite possibly the greatest to ever step foot in the ring. Austin wrestled in his final WWE match against The Rock at WrestleMania 19. He was forced to retire soon after, due to a nagging neck injury. It comes as no surprise that his comeback and subsequent match at the grandest stage of them all garnered a huge reaction from the crowd. No fan in their wildest dreams would have guessed that Austin would return for another match, 19 years later. The unthinkable has happened at WrestleMania 38, though, and Austin didn't disappoint one bit. He and Kevin Owens did quite well in a back-and-forth match before the Rattlesnake pinned KO with a stunner. What did you think of Austin's return match against Kevin Owens? Do you think his new WrestleMania record will ever be broken? Let us know in the comments section below. Alexa Bliss sends a flirtatious message to Jake Paul after his WrestleMania 38 appearance. Alexa Bliss sent a message to Jake Paul after he made a special appearance on the WrestleMania 38 pre-show. Jake's older brother Logan Paul was in action at the show of shows, as he made his in-ring debut for WWE. During the kickoff show, Jake joined the expert panel and hinted at possibly stepping foot inside the squared circle at some point. He even threatened to beat any member of the WWE Universe who were heavily booing him. Taking to Twitter, Bliss reacted to Jake Paul threatening the WWE Universe by praising him. The former Raw Women's Champion called the problem child a heat magnet and also gave him props for being a major heel. Bliss wrote, "What a heat magnet lol major heel." At WrestleMania 38, Jake's brother Logan teamed up with The Miz. The two men went on to beat Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Logan also caught the attention of the WWE Universe with an outstanding showing on the night. However, after the match, the YouTuber was betrayed by his tag team partner, The Miz, who hit the skull-crushing finale. Alexa Bliss hasn't been as active in recent times as the WWE Universe would have hoped. The last time she competed in a match in the company was at the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. In the lead-up to WrestleMania 38, a report from PW Insider had noted that Bliss had not been spotted at the Dallas airport or in the area around the AT&T Stadium, which hosted the show of shows. At the Elimination Chamber show, Bliss competed in the Women's Chamber match to determine the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 38. She shared the ring with Doudrop, Liv Morgan, Nikki Ash, Rhea Ripley, and eventual winner Bianca Belair. Do you think Jake Paul will feature in a WWE ring in the future? Let us know in the comments